Good evening. I'm Danielle Catalan.
And I'm Elisa Orrero Martinez, and this is our first 10-minute or less news broadcast.
So let's just jump right into it and start discussing domestic affairs. I hope all of you are as excited as I am, and just so all of you are aware, my lovely co-anchor here drew the wonderful pictures you're about to see. The United States wants to end their combat mission in Afghanistan next year. Defense Secretary Leon Panetta said that they want to transition into primarily a training role where Afghan security forces will take the lead instead of American forces. This is just the ideal situation. Nothing is final yet. Ideally, this will happen in the latter part of 2013, 1 year before the 2014 deadline to end the war in Afghanistan. Earlier this week, France announced it will withdraw its troops earlier than 2014. NATO will meet in May to discuss the war. Facebook is going public. On Wednesday, Facebook filed for $5 billion IPO, or initial public offerings. However, analysts believe the company to be worth $85 billion or more, and say Facebook is being rather conservative when it comes to their valuation. Mark Zuckerberg owns more than a quarter of the company, which would mean he holds around 534 million shares. These shares' actual value will be decided by the open market when Facebook begins trading this year. However, in its IPO paperwork, Facebook said their internal valuation suggests the current values of the shares is $29.73 each. With those numbers, it would make Zuckerberg worth $16 billion. And with the numbers of the analysis, he will be worth more than $24 billion. American Airlines is planning to cut 13,000 jobs from its current staff of 88,000. The Maintenance Operations Department is taking the biggest cut, with 4,600 jobs being lost. The rest of the cuts come from additional ground workers losing 4,000 jobs, flight attendants losing 2,300 jobs, management being reduced by 1,400 employees, and the cutback of 400 pilots. Thomas Horton, the CEO of American Air parent AMR Corporation, explains that though the company has lost a significant amount of people, this action is preserving tens of thousands of jobs from being lost. 2 passenger rail cars went off the tracks on Wednesday, February 1st near Ann Arbor, Michigan. No life-threatening injuries were reported in the accident. The train involved in the incident was Amtrak Wolverine Service Train 351. House Republicans are proposing a new transportation bill called the American Energy and Infrastructure Jobs Act. This bill would authorize $260 billion over 5 years to fund federal highway programs. It would allow heavier tractor-trailer trucks on highways by increasing the federal limit weight from 80,000 pounds to 97,000 pounds. And in some areas, tractor-trailers almost as long as Boeing 737s would be on highways. An Alaskan volcano could erupt and disturb intercontinental flights. The volcano, Mount Cleveland, had also erupted in 2001 and produced lava flow and a hot avalanche that reached the sea. If it erupts, the ash will reach high altitudes and ultimately cause flights to be rerouted and canceled.
Now for a look at what's happening internationally.
Political tensions and sports rivalries caused a riot in northeastern city of Port Said, Egypt, leaving 74 dead, 1,000 injured, and 47 arrested. Causes of death were suffocation, falling off the bleachers, and deep cuts and bruises caused by flying bottles, rocks, knives, and swords. The Muslim Brotherhood Party is blaming Egypt's military for the deaths. Egypt's Interior Ministry is blaming the soccer fans for provoking the police. A copy of the Mona Lisa, one of the most popular works of art in the world by Leonardo da Vinci, has recently been discovered by the Prada Museum in Madrid, Spain. Conservators were able to restore the painting after finding it behind a few layers of black overpainting. In this copy, the woman appears the same, with a similar landscape from the original, along with a better quality of skin tone and freshness. The UN is attempting to resolve the brutality that has been taking place in Syria because of dictator Bashar al-Assad. Morocco, supported by the Arab League's plan, has proposed that al-Assad leave power so that a democracy can be instilled. While these deliberations are taking place, however, al-Assad has been killing his people with intense bombardments, massacres, and attacks. Al-Assad has been able to maintain his power, and if Russia vetoes the UN's decision for the security of Syria, the United States will call for an international conference with Syria, the Arab League, the Islamic Conference, NATO, Japan, India, Brazil, and all other concerned states. The UN nuclear inspectors are planning to return to Tehran at the end of the month. After spending 3 days this week in Tehran, The monitors gave a positive assessment of both sides. Ali Akbar Salehi, the Iranian Minister of Foreign Affairs, said the team did not ask to inspect nuclear facilities. However, they would have been happy to comply if they had. Western powers hold the belief that Tehran is trying to develop nuclear weapons. Iran denies this assertion. The spokesman for Nigerian militant group Boko Haram has been captured. Abu Kaka was tracked down by security services through his phone. Boko Haram is responsible for multiple bombings and shootings across northern Nigeria. The focus of this group differs based on factions. The ambitions vary from enforcing a strict form of Islamic Sharia law to the destruction of the government. His arrest boosts the morale of security services, who had been criticized for failing to prevent the January 20th bombings in Kano, where 211 people were killed.
Thank you for watching our first full broadcast. Just so you know, there has been a development in the Egypt soccer story. So far, there have been a total of 79 deaths from the riot.
And on a more recent note, Leon Panetta, the U.S. Defense Secretary, believes that there is a strong chance of Israel attacking Iran later this spring because of the suspected nuclear program. We will expand more on this on Sunday.
Please remember that we will be making videos twice a week, on Thursdays and Sundays.
And thank you so much for your feedback on our first video. We really took it into consideration when making this one. Keep it coming.
Follow us on Twitter, Facebook, or email us at projecteasynews@gmail.com.
Bye!